Thank you for joining me, you guys. Listen, I want to talk about kind of one of the very basic things when it comes to real estate sales. So what I want to talk about today are real estate commissions. My name is Mark Hulsey. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I'm actually a managing broker of a boutique firm called Results Commercial in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. And we are longtime, well-established commercial investment brokers. Now, here's what I find really interesting is that recently in our industry there was a lawsuit. There was this big, fairly well publicized lawsuit between the Department of Justice and the National Association of Realtors. And the Department of Justice said, you know what, we're not so sure that your National Association of Realtors and the people in your industry are kind of handling the way you position commissions correctly. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of this lawsuit because who cares about that? I'll tell you guys what I found interesting. What I found interesting was some of the statistics behind this is that the consumer does not understand the way real estate commissions work. And so when you sell a house, it's pretty well known that, the seller of that home is going to have a commission fee that they're going to pay. And within that commission fee, they're going to end up paying their real estate agent. And within that commission fee, oftentimes the agent who brings the buyer is also getting paid. So you look at this and you say, so who's paying the commission? Right? And that's kind of one of the interesting arguments about real estate commissions. And of course, some people say, well, that's a stupid question. The seller's paying commissions, right? It's coming out of the seller's proceeds at closing. So that must mean that they're paying the commission. And other people say, but hang on. Who's bringing the money to this transaction? It's the real estate buyer. They're bringing the money. They're the ones who are paying for the property. And within that amount that they're paying, what else is in there? Real estate commissions, right? So it becomes kind of an interesting dynamic as we get into this discussion about real estate commissions. But what I want to be clear about today, you guys, are just a couple key points. First and foremost, what I want you to understand, what everybody needs to understand, all real estate commissions are negotiable. Okay, there is not a fixed commission in real estate. It does not exist. It can't exist. All real estate commissions are negotiable. So when you're selling a building, a house, a retail strip center, an office building, it doesn't make any difference what it is that you're selling, or you're buying any of the above. The fees that you're paying your real estate professional to represent you are negotiable. And it's a wonderful thing that they are negotiable because that's the nature of the way real estate works. It just takes two parties to come together to mutually agree, and away we go. We have an agreement. It's a great thing for those of us that do this every single day. Now, once again, if a buyer comes along and says, Mark, I want you to represent us. I want you to help us go find a building. How does it work with your commissions? And we say, well, that's a great question because in commercial real estate, it is a little bit different than residential real estate. What do I mean by that? Is that, yes, we still have a very typical scenario many times that the proceeds from the sale, as the title company is dispersing funds or cutting the checks, that from the seller's proceeds, the fees will be paid to each of the real estate professionals representing each of the parties, but not always. Okay, so sometimes it might be that there will only be a fee paid by the seller to the individual or the brokerage firm representing the seller. And sometimes the buyer themselves may have to pay their own fee. This is important, you guys, okay? This is really critical because certainly if I'm a buyer, I want to know what might I be responsible for. I might be responsible for having to go take out that loan, responsible for my credit report, responsible for the appraisal, and I might be responsible for some of the fees involved. Now, I can tell you guys that still within our industry, when it comes to commercial investment sales, is that typically a buyer brokerage, a buyer's agent, however you want to refer to them, they are being paid from those seller proceeds. But let's not forget who's the one bringing the money to the transaction, and the fees are part of that deal. So might it be that the buyer also is very much responsible for those fees? We're transparent. It's just the way we operate. Now, not everybody in my industry works this way, and I just don't quite get that. But I mean, the way it should be is all parties need to understand the way real estate commissions work. And that's what we do in our practice. We make sure that sellers, do you understand what your fees are? Here's what your total commission is going to be. And we're going to split that total commission with the buyer's agent. Or buyer, if you're coming to engage us, here's the way we're going to get paid. Here's what a market rate fee might look like for you. And we really break it out for them. In fact, what's kind of interesting, you guys, too, in commercial real estate, we are accustomed to negotiating our fees. Where in residential real estate, many times, like within the multiple listing service, there's actually a fee that will say a buyer, broker, co-op fee, 2.5%, 2.7%, 2%, whatever that percentage might be. That can vary depending upon the marketplace. Commercial real estate, it doesn't work that way. Commercial real estate, there might be a fee, there might not be a fee. The fee might be up here, the fee might be down here. Is that other broker cooperating or not cooperating? But what that ends up doing to us, it means that as we're working through the transaction, as we're working through the deal, when we're putting the deal together, we are very open, we are very transparent about what fees are being paid, by whom and to whom, or by who to whom. We're making sure that all parties involved in this transaction understand where the money is going. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's just logical. That's the way any of us should have all of our expectations. This is something that you should always be talking to your real estate broker about. This is something that should be explained to every single consumer, because again, I found it amazing when something like 56% of the people, when asked the question, said, I'm not sure how these commissions work. I hope this helps you a little bit, you guys, that you understand that this is a negotiable item as you're working with your real estate agents, working with your real estate brokers, but we still kind of work off some of the same standards that we've been doing for many, many decades, in that the seller proceeds is where it gets split off between the seller's agent, the buyer's agent, and that's often the way that that's split out. So, a couple quick minutes there. Relative to real estate commissions, my name is Mark Hulsey. I appreciate you joining me. Listen, I hope that you'll follow us on YouTube. We're real estate investment experts. We're all about commercial brokerage. Check us out on our social media channels. ResultsCommercial.com is our website, and I do appreciate you joining me today. Thank you.